Hey guys, welcome back, and we're going into another Zerg vs Zerg here with Demi, Love, and Emperor. And the game is going to start counting down now. So Emperor was, I can't remember which qualifier he played in. I remember casting him, and he played pretty well, just wasn't quite able to make it. He played in the Philippine qualifier, and he was not too far away from making it out, I believe. And he had some pretty cool strats, so hopefully he brings it to the table once again here on Orbital Shipyard. So we're going into the Legacy of the Void maps now, Zep.
Yes, about time someone branched out and played a few more of these. Let's hop into it now, though. In the bottom left, this is the Green Zerg. We've seen a lot of him today. This is Demi Love.
And in the upper right, we have our orange Zerg from the Philippines. It is Emperor. Alright, it'd be interesting to see. I haven't actually seen a ZVZ on this map, so it'd be interesting to see, and it's because of the large rush distance on this map, it'd be interesting to see what Demi is going to play here. If he's going to stick away from the Link Bane aggression as we saw him do earlier, or is he going to whip something else out? But we'll have to see what he's going to go for here soon enough.
Yeah, Demi seems to be going for these sort of hard and fast wins. He's not too interested in playing the longer game, and perhaps some of that stems from the fact that he's played a lot of Legacy of the Void. He knows he's one of the favourite players to get through this qualifier as well. So he's got to be feeling pretty confident. He's probably just like, yeah, I think I can take most of these guys out pretty quickly. But you did mention that Emperor has been playing a little bit of Legacy of the Void, maybe, because he seems to have some decent strats sorted out. So maybe Demi Love will finally meet his match here.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty grueling ZVZ here. It's not going to be as much as a walkover as he had against Cool Ice, but it should be a little bit more of a challenge for him. And Cool Ice, I mean, in that second game he played, he almost caught Demi with his pants down there and just caught him a little by surprise. And if Emperor's, I think Emperor might be the one to do that here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's ZVZ as well, as you mentioned earlier. As every caster mentions, you know, it's a knife fight, anything can happen, you know, one Bentley hit changes everything, that kind of thing. So I'm pretty keen to see if we'll get something different out of these guys. I would love to see a longer game ZVZ, because I think it'd be really cool to see how the mid to late game evolves with the new units. For the most part, really, like, all the ZVZs I've had the opportunity to watch are just kind of like, hey, I'm going to run at you with a whole lot of lings, which sucks, but you know, we'll see if we're lucky this time.
Yep, over on the other side there we go, we're going to see Emperor actually skip Ling speed altogether and go straight into a Rotorin here. And this looks like it might catch Demi off a little bit off guard here, because he is actually going straight for the Link Bane attack that he was going for in the early games against Cool Ice. But with Roaches on the map, able to tank Banelings, able to tank Lings, it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, with the first couple of Scoutlings coming out from Demi, he might be able to get in there and actually see what's going on, because that's kind of important to see. You know, you don't want to be Ling Bane against a bunch of Roaches that are, you know, probably about to arrive on your front doorstep in a couple of minutes. So perhaps he'll get the scout off here, especially as the speed comes in. It'll give him a bit more maneuverability. And in fact, he's actually going for the aggression you mentioned once again. So if he can get in there and run around at least a little bit, he should be able to get a good idea of what's going on.
No, he doesn't want to scout. He's going to go straight for it. He's already morphing a Baneling. Speed just about to finish up, and there's already Roaches out on the field. He's got 2 Queens. There's more Roaches on the way here. He's even sneaking in a couple of drones here and there. And this is looking kind of scary here for Demi if Emperor's able to hold the top of the ramp here.
Yeah, this is actually not going to be so cost efficient for him, because he's getting a really good position, and there's the whole position with 3 Roaches on the ramp. If Demi Love even just pokes up a little bit, he'll see that, and he'll want to stop committing Banelings to this, because it's really not going to go too far. He does have a lot of Lings and Banes though, so I suppose he could try and get a wraparound or try and take him out. He may lose a fair bit for it though, and he has gone back to droning behind this into lair and a few more gas at this point, so I guess he's caught a glimpse of those Roaches at this point.
Yeah, he's got an overlord there watching over the ramp, so he's just going to chill for now. And yeah, going into 4 gases here, so he's going to transition straight into Mutilus by the look of things here. Yeah, looks like that is indeed going to be the choice. A lot of airspace on this map for maneuvering around like that as well. So that could be
quite nice for Demi Love. And similarly, Emperor going up to his 4 gas as well, grabbing his lair. And he's actually going to follow up with Hydras. So while he could throw out some lurkers a little bit later, I think having the Hydra Gen is going to be very valuable, because that's going to give him the very sorely needed defense once those mutas do come out from Demi. If he is indeed going for mutas, I assume he is, because he's grabbing spines and everything.
Yeah, he's definitely committing to the defense. He reckons there's, with that Queen Overlord being pushed away, he thinks the Roaches are going to make a move across the map, but back at home, Emperor's just very keen to just build up a Roach count before he does anything. And actually, their spines might not even matter, Zeph, as we're seeing the Nidus one.
Very clever. That's actually a really good response to Demilove's defense.
He scouted, though, with his Overseer. But the problem is, though, Nidus worms are invincible until they spawn, man.
Yeah, he's going to have to get right on top of that. He's found the one Overlord that Emperor has near his base, though. So it's going to be really hard for him to actually find a position where this is worth it. And that's kind of sticky for Emperor, because if you look at the drone count, Demilove's been ahead for quite a little while. He seems a little bit more refined in his build, so Emperor will suddenly find himself with all these Roaches and a couple of Hydras and a Nidus Worm that he can't really do much with just yet. Well, let's see what happens as he does drop the Nidus Worm down towards the 3rd base location.
Yeah, he's dropping it down, but there's actually nothing in the Nidus Worm at the moment. He hasn't backed off. I think he's trying to just force units here out of Demi, and Demi's happy. He's fine with it at the moment. Yeah. I mean, he could probably cancel his spines, but I mean, he's moving across the map. He's got a couple of Hydras in tow now, taking out a couple of Overlords. Needs a lot more Hydra, especially with the Mutalisk switch coming. I wonder if that Overseer, when it came out, I wonder if it got a glimpse of the Spy, and I don't think it did. No, it didn't. So the Mutalisk are going to come to a big surprise here, and there's not really enough Hydras on the map just yet here to contend with the amount of Mutalisks that Demilove's about to have.
Yeah, it's very easy to pick them off one at a time, and here we go. He knows 100% now that the mutas are out on the map, and it'll be interesting to see how he decides to deal with this. In fact, he's heading back home with his main army, but Nidusing at the front. Not too sure about that move, because I think Demilove will... I mean, that's not exactly a hard Nidus to find, but it's a good reinforcement point for the units of Emperor if he can get over there. Look at these spines, though. It's just... He's not getting in here anytime soon.
Yeah, he really committed to it. But everything's going into the Nidus Worm now. Everything that came home is going into it. And he does see this now, so he can take it out. He's going to start spitting out some units that are going to be marooned here, unfortunately. Hydras, though, there are a lot of them, though, so he's got to be careful. But the Mutalists are just basically straight up fighting the amount of Hydras they got out. Everything is being cleaned up, and not too many casualties there for Demilove. Only lost 1 Mutalist there.
Oh man, bit of a slaughter there for Emperor. He's trying to get something done, and I really like his ideas here. You know, open broaches, go into Nidus, but he hasn't really been trying to... well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. He hasn't really been able to get anything done. And oh no, now these mutas are really causing a problem in the main base here, taking out all the Hydras. There's just not enough to contend with. There's so many links as well. These Roaches are gonna fall. Units trying to come out of the Nidus. They've got a good position on the Lings there, actually. And the Spory will be watered away from that mineral line a little bit, but there's still so much more coming in for Demilove.
Yeah, Bane's coming in to try and gets a lot of damage on the drones, and he actually kills off quite a lot of drones there. 20 drones have gone down so far this game here for Emperor. And, I mean, he's done a good job holding off, but Demi's now up on 3 bases. He's got Mutalisk very heavily in his favour. He's trying to transition a little bit by the look of things, no, but as I say that, he threw down an evolution chamber, and I'm like, oh, okay, he might be thinking of a rote switch here. But then he just tacks on an extra 5 Mutalisk, so he's going to stay on the Mutaling Bane composition here against this Roach Hydra Force.
Yes, indeed. He's a little bit locked in his base, actually. Demilove, with that 3rd base income and a 4th base coming in as well, if he keeps committing to mutas, he's just going to have so much he can target down those spores without losing much at all, maybe like 1 muta for it, and that's going to really be a problem, because then Emperor has to make sure he's got Hydras defending the spores as they rebuild, that kind of thing. It's going to be very sticky to actually be able to move out here. I'm not sure what he's able to do. Maybe he needs to go from Festus at this point.
I mean, he'd ideally like the Odifest, but I believe his economy is just absolutely in shambles now. He's been on 2 bases for way too long, and the Mutalisk just swoop in and is like, I got enough here to take down your Hydralisk, and he just straight up deletes what is left on the field there for Emperor, and Demi will be the winner in our first game here.
Yes, indeed. Looked quite solid, as always, in that ZVZ. I think it's certainly one of Demilov's strong points. His EVZ, because obviously being in C, he has to play so much of it. He's going to be well versed against just about everything, but well, maybe in game number 2, Emperor can take a map. Maybe he needs a different strategy, I think. Because I actually like the Roach opener, but perhaps he needs to attack with it earlier. I don't really know what his timing was going to be if he didn't have a Nidus, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we're going into Dash and Terminal, and an interesting map, an interesting reason, because we get the Zergs coming up on this map, and just because of the airspace that it is, I'm surprised we haven't quite seen the new the new Overlord drop ability being used. Like, you only need an Evolution Chamber, and then you just morph an Overlord into a drop pod, and it's going to be interesting to see if one of these players will end up using this a bit later on here, so I'm really looking forward to the later stages of this tournament.
That's a good point, actually. I totally forgot that was even in the game. It's really fun to do, actually, people. I'm happy even if I horribly lose a game, as long as I get to do a couple of Overlord drops. So yeah, I actually really like to see that from these guys. It seems, I don't know, like, I feel like it's kind of risky though, in ZVZ at least. Because if you got Ling Bane coming at you, like, do you really have time to be morphing Overlord drops and sending Lings into a main that way? I don't know.
I mean, if you like pressure the front with, say, a bunch of Lings and have those Banelings that you use for the front attack, if you hide them away somewhere and then chuck them in Overlords, drop them in.
Yeah.
If you keep the units at the front, it could end up working out. And even if they pull units like Zerglings back to hold against it, I mean, they're Banelings, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good point. My favorite map to do that sort of thing on is actually Bridgehead. When people play that, because you got the back rocks, and usually people have vision of the rocks as if you're knocking them down, but they don't really think about the Overlord drop side, so you can morph it and get some Lings in the natural pretty quickly, and it's quite a cheeky style to play. But well, without further ado, looks like the players are ready, guys. We're hopping into Dash and Terminal for game number 2.
Yeah, really excited. Actually, Demi just PM'd me before he said, watch out this game. So I think he's got something in mind, and we're going to have to see what he's got.
I hate it when players do that to me. They message me, they're like, oh, I got something planned for this one, or I've got a cool strat or something, and then it just makes me go super anticipation mode and get all antsy.
Alrighty, so spotting in the north, we have the Green Zerg from Storm Gaming. It is Demi.
And on the right-hand side, it needs this match to make it to the finals. This is Emperor.
I'm going for a pull first here, Emperor. Oh, ain't it? I wonder if this is just an extractor trick, or is he going to stay on it? Because he's gone past his extractor trick timing. So I was thinking like kind of a 14-14, but he took the pull first. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to get out of this. Maybe he can get a quicker expansion, but we'll have to see. But over on the other side, Demi just playing his standard opener as it seems to be, doing that OV trick, extractor trick into his hatch, gas then pull. So he's just playing his comfortable, and he's I believe in HOTS his most comfortable build was just doing your hatch gas pull.
Yeah, he's really not deviating too much in the early game, Demi. But Emperor, on the other hand, is going straight for Lings with the gas follow-up off one base. So could be sort of a echo back to the old 14-14 style. I feel like you really do have to either pull out a gas or grab a Baneling Nest here if you want to commit on the one base, because people have gotten so good at defending on 2 bases against 1 base Ling styles that they're generally not done anymore. And Demi with these close air spawns, is obviously going to get a really good look at what's being done here. Might lose the Overlord for it, though.
Yeah, you go poke your scout off on the gas count there. You saw the pool wiggling as well. This Overlord definitely does look like it's in trouble. There's no high ground for it to hide on from this point on. But is he going to be ready back at home? His Ling's already here. Demi loves Queen's only just starting, and same with his Lings. He's not going to beat 2 supply blocks, so he can be happy about that one. And the interesting thing here is Emperor is staying on gas, but he doesn't have a Baneling nest just yet. As I say that, though, he does throw it down.
Yep. We'll be able to use that for the defense in a little while, though. It's going to be some time before that actually comes up. In the meantime, though, because with that extra little bit of lava from the natural base, he should have more than enough to combat the Lings of Emperor at this point. As he continues to trickle those units across the map, his Baneling Nest, Emperor's that is, will be finishing slightly later than Demilov's. So that's going to give Demilov a good window to get set up well for this sort of attack. And he's even got a spine coming up in the mineral line just to make sure that he's not going to lose too much.
Yeah, Demi Love's responded quite well, but I was actually surprised how much this got done. Like, I mean, obviously with the economy change and stuff like that, but just because Demi Love gets his pool so much later with the Overlord, then the hatchery, then gas and pool, these first initial Lings, they just straight up killed the hatchery and the creeps already receded. But now Demi just has to out-micro Emperor here, and it's going to be interesting because his Banelings haven't quite spawned just yet, but he actually just lost all of his Lings.
Oh no, that was a sick hit for Emperor. He's going to be pleased with that. That's the kind of damage he needs. Now he's gotten the natural base and a huge clump of Demi Lings. This is when his attack can start to snowball out of control. With that spine coming up to the front, Queen still alive as well, and a few more Banes coming in. It's still going to be a little bit tricky to get in here, but that is a hell of a good start for Emperor.
Yeah, the problem is though for Emperor, he lost a lot of his Lings as well, straight onto one of Demilov's just spawning in Banelings. But, oh, actually, that was a little bit of a whiffed X-Baneling there from Demilov. I think he detonated that one manually, but it was in no man's land. But back at home, he's got a Queen on top of the ramp, he's got more Banes coming, he's got that spine, he's looking pretty good, but these Banelings, oh, actually the suicides him onto the Queen there, and he's going to keep this attack up. I mean, he's got nothing else happening for him back at home, not looking for any kind of transition. He's just constantly making Lings and Banes here. Emperor and Demilov is just being forced to do the same. He's going to be able to get himself another Queen out shortly to keep his injects going once again, but he's going to be careful. He came right down off the ramp, and I mean, that's an alright trade there against the Banelings, as they bought him time to get a Queen. His spine's still looking pretty nice. Yeah, it was just kind of like a weird little trade there to buy time.
Yeah, oh, decent hit from Demi on the bottom of the ramp there. These Banelings not quite able to be picked off either. Looks like he's starting to gain some ground again in terms of the army, and he does take out the rest of Emperor's Lings there.
Yeah, and Emperor's being forced to make his Banelings a little bit further away from the map here, but these are going to be cancelled here by Demilov's Lings, and he's going to have to go back home. Unfortunately, one of the Lings not quite going to make it, but the defense back at home for Emperor is basically nil, and Demilov is on the forward march.
Yeah, well, a few Bane's going to morph in for Demilov on Emperor's side of the map. He shouldn't be able to get too many of them up. He's trying to buy time with what few Lings he has left here, but oh man, he may actually get the Banelings up and they will finish. I didn't think he'd actually be able to get them. Very nicely done from Demilov, but unfortunately not able to get much done up the ramp.
Back at home though, Demilov doesn't quite spend all of his money on a big counterattack here. He's going to go for the safe option here, go for a hatchery. Once that creeps up for him as well, he can move that spine crawler down, but he needs more. He's trying to slip drones in, but he's going to be careful if Emperor decides, alright, on my next round I'm going to make a ton of more Lings, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So yeah. Be careful here, Demilov.
Have to be a little bit careful, but with the Queen coming down, he's got a bunch of Lings. Grabbing a Roach Warren as well. He's really just waiting for that. He should be fine. I would have liked to have seen Emperor try and expand while he was putting on that aggression, because he managed to kill a natural Demilov. Would have been able to get a bit of a lead from that, but I suppose it's been a little bit difficult getting good and bad trades in Ling Bane Wars overall. You never want to accidentally commit your minerals to something else when you suddenly need some Lings. So really, I guess he's just playing it safe.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, Roach is going to be absolutely brilliant against those Roaches and Lings. Demilov, he's gotten to the point where he's like, alright, I'm really nice and comfortable, I can just slip in drones until I actually see movement across the map. I mean, he's got the production now, he's got the 2 bases happening with injects, he's got his spine crawler, He's just feeling nice and tucked in back at home, and he's just gearing up for that roach switch. Back on the other side of the map, though, for Emperor, he's got his second gas, but actually he has taken his load. I was going to say, what's he going to do with his extra gas here? But it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to transition into here as his natural base is making its way up now.
Yeah, I guess we'll get maybe a bit more of an idea once he takes the natural gas. If he just goes all out and grabs both of them at the same time. Because he's actually already got a fair bit of gas banked, so he could try and go for a Spire, I guess. But given that Demi loves going for roaches and he's actually coming across the map now with a bit of an attack, he probably needs something a little bit more short term at this moment. In fact, he's going to drop a Spine, maybe needs a second one. How many roaches are actually coming across? Yeah, might need a second one just to be safe.
He's going to try and find some early trade-offs here before he comes in, but now he's going to have that roach manually. Oh, that was so close, but he manually detonated him again on top of nothing. He's getting a little bit silly with them, but he does have plenty of roaches here. These roaches actually got so weak, but they're just all still alive here. He's got banelings to ward away those zerglings. Their Spine's going to get cancelled, and this is where it's going to get really dicey here for Emperor.
Yeah, very rough for him. Oh gosh, he needs to split these drones. A few good hits go off though for Demilove. And that is it. Demilove takes the game. A bit of a quick death for Emperor in the end. He put up a good fight in the early game there.
Yeah, he did quite a good job there with that attack, but just not quite able to find the damage that he was looking for. The Queen and the Spine on the high ground there for Demi just did an absolute terror of a job there for him as well. So once he was able to get that archery back up, Demi just had all the comfort in the world. He forced Emperor to go all the way home, and that's just when Demi's like, alright, I'll play my game now.
Yeah, not much you can do about it from that point. When you get behind like that, it's very hard to recover. And the roach push is always the killer in ZVT, I find. If you're just not... You don't have the right economy, or you've lost a little bit too much of units, it's always going to be the one that kills you. But not to worry, he still has a chance to fight back.
Yep, and we're going into another best of 3, which will be the other semi-final, so I'm not sure how long we'll have to wait, so we might go to a quick break, but it might just be a very short one, guys. So we'll be back soon with the other semi-final, and that will be XO Blazer versus Metroplex.